When people think about liver damage, one thing usually comes to mind: alcohol. For decades, it's been considered the biggest enemy of liver health, and for good reason. Excessive alcohol consumption is a well-known cause of liver disease around the world. But what if another everyday habit is quietly putting just as much pressure on your liver? One that millions of people don't even think twice about: sugar. It's in soft drinks, breakfast cereals, energy drinks, flavored yogurt, desserts, even foods that don't taste particularly sweet. So here's the question. If you had to choose, which is worse for your liver, alcohol or sugar? The answer isn't as simple as picking one over the other, because while both can damage the liver under certain conditions, they do so in very different ways. Understanding those differences could completely change how you think about your daily diet. Why your liver matters. So much before comparing sugar and alcohol, it's important to understand just how much work your liver actually does. Most people never think about it, yet your liver performs hundreds of essential tasks every single day. It helps regulate blood sugar, processes nutrients, produces bile for digestion, stores vitamins and minerals, filters your blood, breaks down medications, supports your immune system, and helps remove potentially harmful substances from your body. It's one of the hardest working organs you have, but because it works so quietly, people often ignore it until something goes wrong. What happens when you drink alcohol? The moment alcohol enters your bloodstream, your liver treats it differently than almost every other nutrient. Unlike carbohydrates, fats, or proteins, alcohol isn't something your body needs. As a result, your liver immediately shifts its priorities. Instead of focusing on many of its regular jobs, it begins breaking alcohol down as quickly as possible. This process produces compounds such as acetaldehyde, which can be harmful to liver cells if they accumulate. Over time, excessive alcohol intake may lead to inflammation, fat accumulation inside liver cells, and eventually more serious liver disease. But here's something important. Most people don't develop severe liver damage after an occasional drink. The greatest risk comes from frequent, excessive alcohol consumption over long periods. Your liver is remarkably resilient. It can repair itself to an impressive degree when given the opportunity. The problem is that repeated heavy drinking doesn't always give it enough time to recover. What happens when you eat too much sugar? Now let's look at sugar. Not all sugar behaves the same way. The natural sugars found in whole fruit arrive packaged with fiber, water, vitamins, and antioxidants. Those foods generally affect the body very differently than sugar-sweetened beverages or highly processed desserts. One particular type of sugar receives a lot of attention in liver research: fructose. Unlike glucose, which can be used by many tissues throughout the body, fructose is primarily processed by the liver. When consumed in moderate amounts, especially from whole fruits, this usually isn't a problem. But regularly consuming large amounts of added fructose, particularly from sugary drinks and processed foods, can place extra demands on the liver. Over time, excess calories from added sugars may contribute to fat accumulating inside liver cells. This condition is known as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or NAFLD. Interestingly, people with NAFLD may rarely drink alcohol at all, yet their liver still becomes overloaded with fat. That's one reason doctors have become increasingly concerned about excessive added sugar consumption. Are sugar and alcohol affecting the same organ? Yes, but not in exactly the same way. Alcohol directly exposes liver cells to toxic breakdown products during metabolism. Sugar doesn't act like a toxin in the same sense. Instead, excessive added sugar contributes to metabolic changes that encourage fat storage within the liver when consumed in excess over time. Think of it this way: alcohol often damages through toxicity. Excess added sugar often damages through overload. Different pathways, the same organ, and when unhealthy eating is combined with excessive alcohol intake, the effects may become even more significant. The hidden problem nobody talks about. Here's where things become surprising. Many people who would never consider drinking heavily consume enormous amounts of added sugar every single day without realizing it. One sugary coffee in the morning, a soft drink at lunch, an energy drink in the afternoon, dessert after dinner. It doesn't feel excessive because it's spread across the entire day, but your liver still has to process it. And unlike occasional treats, repeated habits quietly shape long-term health. So, if both alcohol and excessive added sugar can affect the liver, which one should worry you more? The answer depends less on choosing a winner and more on understanding how much you're actually consuming of each. Because the biggest danger often isn't one single food or drink. It's the pattern you repeat every day. The real question isn't whether sugar or alcohol is evil. It's how much stress you're placing on your liver over months and years. Your liver is incredibly resilient, but even the strongest organs have limits. Why soft drinks can be a bigger problem than people think. Let's imagine two people. The first person drinks alcohol only a few times each month. The second never drinks alcohol at all, but drinks several cans of sugary soda every single day. Most people would immediately assume the first person has the less healthy liver, but that's not necessarily true. Sugary drinks are one of the largest sources of added sugar in many diets. Unlike whole fruit, they contain virtually no fiber to slow absorption. They're easy to consume quickly. And because liquid calories don't create the same feeling of fullness as solid foods, people often consume far more than they realize. Over time, excessive added sugar intake contributes to weight gain, insulin resistance, and the accumulation of fat inside the liver. That's why reducing sugary beverages is often one of the first recommendations for improving metabolic health. Sometimes the biggest improvement doesn't come from following a complicated diet. It comes from changing what you drink. Can your liver heal? Here's the encouraging news. The liver is one of the few organs in the human body with an extraordinary ability to regenerate. In its early stages, fatty liver caused by either alcohol or excess body fat can often improve when the underlying cause is addressed. Reduce alcohol, improve nutrition, lose excess body weight if needed, exercise regularly, get enough sleep. These changes give your liver the opportunity to recover. However, this ability isn't unlimited. If damage progresses to advanced scarring, known as cirrhosis, much of that damage becomes permanent. That's why prevention is so important. Most liver disease develops quietly. There are often no obvious symptoms until significant damage has already occurred. Taking care of your liver before problems appear is much easier than trying to repair severe damage later. The lifestyle factors that matter. Many people become obsessed with finding one food to avoid or one supplement to protect their liver. But liver health is rarely determined by a single choice. It's shaped by patterns: maintaining a healthy body weight, eating plenty of whole foods, limiting highly processed foods and sugary drinks, being physically active, getting adequate sleep, avoiding excessive alcohol, managing conditions like diabetes if they exist. These habits work together. Your liver responds to the environment you create every day, not to one perfect meal or one bad weekend. So, which is worse? If you're hoping for a simple winner, science doesn't give one. Heavy alcohol consumption remains one of the leading causes of preventable liver disease worldwide. But excessive added sugar, particularly through sugar-sweetened beverages and highly processed foods, has also become a major contributor to metabolic dysfunction and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. The truth is, they damage the liver through different mechanisms. Alcohol creates direct toxic stress during metabolism. Excess added sugar contributes to fat accumulation and metabolic overload over time. Neither should be viewed as harmless when consumed in excess. Instead of asking, which one is worse? A better question is, what habits am I repeating every day? Because that's where your liver's future is really decided. Small changes that make a big difference. Protecting your liver doesn't require a complete lifestyle overhaul overnight. Start with simple changes. Replace sugary soft drinks with water or sparkling water. Choose whole fruit instead of sugary snacks more often. If you drink alcohol, keep it within recommended limits, or consider alcohol-free days each week. Stay physically active. Aim for a healthy body weight. These aren't dramatic changes, but over months and years, they can significantly reduce the burden placed on your liver. Your liver quietly supports you every minute of every day. Taking care of it is one of the smartest long-term investments you can make. If you're enjoying this science-based health content, I'd also recommend checking out the book Wild Women Remedies. It's packed with practical tips on natural wellness, gut health, hormone balance, and healthy living. You'll find the link in the description if you'd like to learn more. Outro. So, sugar or alcohol, which is destroying your liver faster? The honest answer is that both can damage the liver when consumed in excess, but they do it in different ways. Heavy alcohol use directly injures liver cells. Excess added sugar contributes to metabolic changes that encourage fat buildup inside the liver. Neither is something your liver wants in large amounts every day. The good news is that your liver is remarkably resilient. Healthy eating, regular exercise, limiting alcohol, reducing sugary drinks, and maintaining a healthy weight all give this incredible organ the opportunity to function at its best. Because liver disease usually develops silently, the choices you make today matter long before symptoms ever appear. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more science-backed health content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.